On an ordinary summer morning, the people of Pompeii woke up expecting another normal day. Merchants opened their shops. Children ran through the streets. Families prepared breakfast, unaware they were living their final hours. By the next morning, an entire city had vanished beneath volcanic ash. Thousands never escaped, and nearly 2,000 years later, Pompeii still tells the story of the day time stood still. In the year 79 AD, Pompeii was one of the busiest cities in the Roman Empire. Located near the Bay of Naples, it was home to wealthy merchants, skilled craftsmen, and thousands of ordinary families. A city of roughly 11,000 people living full, unremarkable lives. Markets overflowed with goods shipped in from across the empire. Public baths buzzed with gossip and conversation. Elegant villas with painted frescoes overlooked the sparkling sea. And rising above it all stood Mount Vesuvius, a peaceful, green-covered mountain that most residents had grown up believing was simply part of the landscape, nothing more dangerous than any other hill. But Vesuvius was not an ordinary mountain. It was a volcano that had lain dormant for so many centuries that the Romans had no memory and almost no concept of what it truly was. 17 years earlier, in 62 AD, a powerful earthquake had struck the region, badly damaging much of Pompeii and even a temple dedicated to Jupiter. Most buildings were repaired in the years that followed, but smaller tremors never fully stopped. The Roman philosopher Seneca had even written about the earthquake at the time, noting how unusual it was for the ground itself to feel unsafe. Yet most residents simply adapted, treating the shaking earth as an ordinary inconvenience rather than a warning of what was building beneath their feet. Then, shortly after midday, traditionally dated to August 24th, though some modern historians argue the eruption more likely occurred in October based on later evidence, the mountain erupted. A towering column of ash, pumice, and volcanic gas exploded miles into the sky above the city. Pliny the Younger, a young Roman writer who witnessed the disaster from across the bay, later described the cloud in a letter as resembling an umbrella pine tree, its trunk rising straight up before spreading outward at the top. For the people of Pompeii, staring up at a sky turning dark in the middle of the day, it was a sight utterly beyond anything they had words for. Within hours, volcanic ash and pumice stone began falling over the city like gray snow, accumulating faster than anyone had expected. At first, many residents chose to shelter indoors, believing the worst would soon pass. Others gathered what valuables they could carry and rushed toward the city gates, hoping to outrun a disaster no one fully understood. But with every passing hour, the layer of ash and debris grew deeper across the streets. Roofs groaned and then collapsed under weight never designed to hold. Familiar streets vanished beneath the rubble, and for those who had waited too long, every path to escape grew harder to find. As darkness fell, hours before nightfall would normally arrive, panic spread through what remained of Pompeii. Thousands had already fled toward the coast or surrounding countryside, but many more stayed behind, sheltering in homes and public buildings, still hoping the eruption would simply end. Throughout the night, the ground shook with increasing violence. Walls cracked apart, statues toppled from their pedestals, roofs gave way one after another beneath the relentless weight of falling ash. Every fresh tremor was a reminder that whatever this was, it was far from finished. Then came the deadliest moment of all. In the early hours of the following morning, Vesuvius unleashed a series of pyroclastic flows, fast-moving surges of superheated ash, volcanic gas, and rock, some reaching speeds of over 60 miles per hour as they raced down the mountainside. There was no outrunning them.
Temperatures inside these clouds are estimated to have reached several hundred degrees Celsius, killing instantly, in many cases before victims even had time to react. Entire neighborhoods vanished beneath surges so thick and dense they blotted out what little daylight remained. When the eruption finally subsided, Pompeii had vanished beneath as much as 20 feet of ash and volcanic debris. Homes, temples, shops, and streets disappeared entirely from view. Nearby Herculaneum, an even wealthier coastal town, was buried just as completely, preserved under a different kind of volcanic deposit that one day would reveal wooden furniture and even scrolls of papyrus. For centuries afterward, the exact location of Pompeii faded from common memory, its name surviving mostly in old texts, while nature slowly reclaimed the land above it. It wasn't until the 18th century that organized excavation of Pompeii truly began, and the work has continued for more than 200 years since. Beneath the ash, archaeologists uncovered homes with vividly painted walls, bakeries with loaves of bread still inside their ovens, and graffiti scratched into walls by people whose names we would otherwise never have known. Most hauntingly, they found hollow spaces in the hardened ash, cavities left behind by bodies that had long since decomposed. By carefully pouring plaster into these voids, archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli and his successors created eerily detailed casts, preserving the exact final postures of men, women, children, and even a dog chained near a doorway in the last seconds of their lives. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius claimed thousands of lives and erased Pompeii from the map in less than a day. Yet the very ash that destroyed the city also preserved it, sealing an entire moment of Roman daily life untouched for nearly 2,000 years. Today, Pompeii remains one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in human history, allowing us to walk the same streets, step into the same homes, and glimpse the ordinary lives of people who had no idea their final morning had already begun.